All right, so I don't know what the audio is like on this. So I have to charge my phone as quickly as possible. So I'm recording to my GoPro. So something's been bothering me lately. I was enormously validated by something I was reading. Either it was Rationality or How Minds Change, either Pinker or McRaney. And about the it was Pinker, about the logic gates of the brain. So it theory was enormously validated because, one of the most important pieces of sort of programming or logic is if-then. That's how you do have a sequence of events where one thing can trigger another. But I was also troubled because what about or, exclusive or, and, biconditional? And so recently we talked about, we have a summit. Oh. I don't know where summit is. Oh, there it is up there. Okay, anyway. We have summit, which is an it that does a sum. So if two conditions are met, so let's say there's if he's handsome, then dilate pupils. If he is funny, then dilate pupils. And how those two could work is maybe neither goes directly to dilate pupils. Both of them hit a summit first. And only if both of those things are true does that particular summit send the signal for the dilation. So that's cool. But what about or? For instance, well, we know how that would work biologically as far as a neuron goes, and it theory is supposed to sort of follow how actual neurons function, and we assume that the mechanisms function the same way. So, for instance, in OR mechanism, you imagine two neurons that feed into a third neuron, right? So you got these two axons here feeding into a third neuron. And if this releases its little neurotransmitters into the synapse and, triggers the process in this part of the cell, that will be enough for a signal to be propagated. That will beat the threshold if either one of these predecessors fires. You could even have an exclusive or. Could you? I don't actually know. So someone who knows even more than me about cellular neuroscience, which out of the two people watching this, maybe I'll have to wait. Or we can just look it up as well. Can you so if both of these fire, could it be such that the fact that both of them has fired inhibits the cell, even if they're both sending excitatory signals? And then, of course, we have not, right? So we have not, which is just sending an inhibitory signal, or being in an inhibitory position. Shoot out some GABA, and that's our not. So you have if blank, so whatever the dendrites are near, then not blank. So it goes to then blank, except it sends out an inhibitory signal, making it then not. Okay, so that's good. So, and also it makes more sense, because we have to remember that, evolution, it's saving energy. I mean, it's always doing the minimal, that's usually what survives, the thing that consumes the least energy out of the options or whatever. You know what I mean. Well, hopefully, you know, because what I just said is not great language to refer to evolution. But it's okay. And so we have an and. That's our summit. What can we call the or it? An either? Like either? Maybe, or what about in French? A soit. A soit. So the soit in French means like either. And then we'll just pronounce it soit. Okay, so we've got a summit, we've got a soit. We can do a soaksit, put the X in the middle for our exclusive soit. We've got just a regular it, which is just if then. Then you can imagine on a slightly larger scale a feedback system that makes it a if then. Or you could just have them running, or there could be a type of cell that a bipolar, I don't know. And then, so that's good. I think I am. Ooh, an exit could be an exclusive or. No, but we'll use sow it and soaks it. I don't know. And a biconditional can just be a buy it. What about an if and only if? That's not the same thing as biconditional, right? Because a biconditional is like that, right? An if and only if, an exclusive if or something. Ah, there's our exit. Good. Okay. So we've got an exit, a summit, a sow it, a soaks it, and a buy it. Great. And then of course you have, you know, some of those whatevers are gits, some of them are yits, and some you can just leave them as its. This is pretty cool. All right. But we have to just be careful not to take pride in just coming up with shit. Make sure it's actually like useful and okay. So then I'm just waiting for my phone to charge now. So then it's like, for instance, I mean, we're talking about, I mean, this is just easy predicting of human behavior now. So you've got like, can you see this at all? So this is from a video I recorded just 30 minutes ago or something. So we can say that so the nodes themselves, the lines only indicate the connection, but not the relationship. Like if I said that like this is an exit, so this is an exclusive it. So well, what that means is that there's only going to be this line here, because only this, if and only if this. Okay. Then you could say like this one here could be a soaks it. All right, whatever. So, and a soaks it doesn't have to be maybe between two things. Imagine, so we have got 3 lines drawn here, and it could be like if all 3 of these go off, like there's a problem, so it doesn't fire. But if any two of the 3 go off, it does fire. And then if one, yeah, and that would just be about the you know, the signal, the receptors, not the signal, the receptors, how many synapses there are. That's what I was trying to say. How many synapses there are between the two. I mean, how many, you know, but we can use synapses metaphorically as well for this. All right.